know a poem? Y'all sure? Okay, but this one ain't in the book. I don't want to mislead you about it. If anybody heard of the board game, Ghetto-Sploytation?
Get out.
Ghetto-Sploytation.
Get out.
Yeah. That's what it is. Instead of having like the wheelbarrow and dog or the hat, you'll be you have like a 40-ounce bottle, a crack rock. The shoes that came off the highway, weird stuff like that. And you don't have boardwalk before police at the corner of the store, right out from the gun shop. But I found out about this game, this woman just brought an editorial in the work. Because somehow she knew this editorial would piss me off. And it did. And then I come back to her and I got complaining, she said, okay, now go write the poem. Now the poem was a little long, but she made me promise I would read you this entirety. And I call it Ghetto-Sploytation.
Right.
Y'all ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. Now my father told me we address each other as nigger because it takes the sting out. And still leaves her a blank when I pose the query as to why we still want to fight when that very same word rolls from tongue where faces are white. Ghetto-Sploytation. They told me to be offended by the lifestyle of the American ghetto. Well, actually the board game, the topic. Question. Who the fuck are you to tell me to be offended? Just because you have a post in the mass media being heard by millions every day? We exploit ghetto life every day, and some of you in the media are the front line. I'm hearing foolish black men on the radio speaking the same lingo as Generation X, sounding like fools who never had a serious thought in their life, exploiting themselves like English illiterate idiots for a paycheck, no less. We watch our young boys trying to be men confused about life because we, the previous generation, have failed them. They're calling themselves pimp, and half of them could not spell pimp until 50 Cent made that video. I'll be that crack rock so I can bounce around and crack you upside your head so you can realize how we created a world where our children bleed in war zones as we, our rappers, glorified in the song. And sometimes I think we know better than bloodthirsty, war-driven white men. As we're watching our women portray crackhead roles written from real life, and behind the scenes this generate paychecks to feed mouths that remain out of sight. And as we watch our daughters shake that ass, and just shake that ass to thunder and bass, sometimes laced with lyrics lacking simple elegance of grace. Well, someone has to pay the cameraman, and he ain't always black. Sometimes he's white, and these checks are often stroked by black hands.
Wow, wow.
Now, we have allowed and condoned the exploitation of ourselves by ourselves for how long now? Well, maybe we don't know any other way. Now, I want you to think about how we were exploited as slaves. And I want you to think about how the Moroccan general Tariq climbed over the Rock of Gibraltar to help conquer Spain. How do you think they got caught? See, our presence and force is so undeniable. I want you to think about how we've been exploited strategically for military power and gain. Both Patton and MacArthur requested all black troops to help flex U.S. muscle in the game. Did y'all get that? Patton and MacArthur requested all black troops. Some bad motherfuckers. Now, as for the game Ghetto-Sploytation, yeah, I'll be that 40-ounce bottle, so when you turn me up, you'll taste the common sense you ignore it. And now I can dance in your head, and I want to revive your memories of Superfly and the Mac, Uptown Saturday Night, and do it again. And please don't forget to revive the Huggy Bear in that movie I'm going to get you sucked with them damn fish tank shoes on. And don't forget that in the 70s, black boys wanted to be real pimps, drug dealers, pushing gangsters ride, singing the lyrics, just be thankful for what you got. But nobody got the damn message, did they? Now, as we watch the pimps, pushes, and hustles in our neighborhood on the silver screen living lavish lifestyle, and now they simply call themselves pimps, players, and thugs. And yet, and still, and always will be, somewhere in Colombia lies the state of a drug lord originally employed by Hoover to subdue, seduce, and sedate black America. So I ask you, what the fuck is new? We chose to market the good, the bad, and ugly, and everything in between about our lives. Now take another swallow before they call me, and maybe I can help you see that Mr. Change is simply using us as a means to achieve the American dream. I'll be whatever game piece you choose to call me, because I can accept the fact that black America is the most plagiarized culture on the planet. Ghetto Fabulous has established us as a major commodity. So if you feel offended by a board game, take a minute and think about the abuse all the Miss Sillies have been doing. Think about the fact that we earn millions upon billions as a collective exploiting the one thing we have, ourselves. So why should I be offended by Mr. Chain's board game? Shit, I'm flattered. He's just trying to get on a good thing. Now take a minute and think about Ebonics. That was a fucking slap in the face. An idiot telling me my children are entirely too stupid to learn the King's English, as he, a black man, was earning a living teaching the King's English. That I find offensive and unrealistic. And I'm also offended by men who pollute and disrespect our women with drugs and prostitution. I'm offended by anyone who can blatantly rape, abuse, and mutilate a child. I'm offended when a beautiful, intelligent sister tells me she and her husband divorced because he loves his Lexus more than his children. What's wrong with this picture? Now I'm offended by our fathers and grandfathers who love money and whoring more than they loved our mothers. Not the best example of men, but men nonetheless. So you think you want to be offended? Forget about the board game. We the parents need to get a grip and maintain. We the parents need to speak the lingo of our generation. Too many of us are trying to talk like our children, sounding like buffoons. Be offended by those of us who failed at parenthood. Be offended by the so-called black man who does not know when to stop being the friend of his child and be a father. And maybe in time together we can grow and continue to do some good. See, I see and remember the positive brothers and sisters of my parents' generation and my generation out there each and every day making power moves. I see and remember the black working masses toiling all day, every day, trying to survive off no-paying jobs. I see the parents fighting the good fight to raise their children right. I feel the tears of proud parents celebrating the positive side of life. So why should I be offended by a board game? I think we should be offended by 2 NAACP officers on the wall who tells us we're too stupid to raise our own children because of the rap industry. Be offended by some clown on television telling you professional athletes are your children's role models. Never mind the obvious fact that the entertainers and the athletes are on TV. You're the one in the home, now you tell me who the role model is. So we have been duped into not claiming responsibility for ourselves, and all the while people all over the world are collecting paychecks. But Mr. Chain wants to get paid too. Now, we have far more things to deal with than a board game. Despite the condition of the world, possessed with the obsession of blood, money, and water, I prefer to teach my children how to live a life filled with love and minimal pain. Get over it. Ghetto-Sploytation is just a board game, another cultural plagiarism to frame. And at every turn, there's another plot to turn profit for gain. We just happen to be the most famous, simply because we are dynamic enough to change the rules of any game.